was born in Hong Kong in a very small village inside Kong, and my family background is actually from a farming background. I remember I used to follow my grandfather for fishing, and then one of the industry around the village is fishing, farming, and that's my basically my family background. And then I'm start taking interest with my grandfather chefing, and remember my grandfather always cook seafood for me, and after he's gone fishing, and also he caught some freshwater crabs from the river. I really like seafood, and then that's how I become start interested into cooking. And I graduate primary school, and then I went on to about 2.5 years middle school. Then I need to come over to join my father in England because he has a takeaway and restaurant in Plymouth, and then that's the reason why I come over, because he wanted me to help in this takeaway. I was 17. I started learning how to cook from my grandfather, because my grandparents are working along with my father in his takeaway, and then I started learning cooking from my grandfather. First dish I learned from my grandfather is how to do fried rice, Chinese fried rice. That's how I started my learning curve from cooking Chinese. And my father takeaway also do fish and chip. So at the same time, I do learn some Western as well as the Chinese cooking. And then after a while, after working in Cornwall for about 4 years, I saved enough money, applied for university places in Midland, and luckily applied for the course that I'm also interested, which is in the IT business. So it was called, the title of the degree course is called Computer System and Control Engineering, which is a computer technical degree. Good friend of mine from the uni, and he invited me to join the company in Hong Kong to work in the IT business. Eventually, I went back to Hong Kong to join my ex-university colleague and join his company as a working partner in the IT business. So company is actually as a front runner of doing a barcode business in Hong Kong. So that's well before supermarket using the barcode scanner, using the barcode technology. We are the front runner, and because we have about all uni graduate, 4 from England University graduate, 1 from Canada, and 1 from Hong Kong University. We started the business as a 6th graduate, and we only employ a few people because it's a new company. That is back in 1989 when I joined the company. I joined the company after the company was formed 1 year later. I didn't join the company when it started. I quite enjoy working for the company because I was in charge of the marketing and sales side, so that gave me the opportunity to travel, because I love traveling as well. For example, I often travel to China, Japan, USA, and England as well, because I enjoy meeting people. Because my traveling, I also have the opportunity to enjoy different cuisine, different countries' cuisine, because I just love food. So that also the job I enjoy about 8 years, because of when 1997 arrived, there's a big decision I need to make, because Hong Kong is going to return to China. At that time, my 2 sons, one is about 7, one is 4. So me and my wife discussed, we need to make a decision whether we should stay here because of 1997 situation, and also the age for my 2 sons is either to move, for them to move to England, move back to England, so that they can have the better education in England. That's where I got my degree from. So at the end, and then we decided to move back. So when I moved back, first of all, I moved back to Ireland, and also had an IT in the IT industry as well for a company online company for about 2 years. The company decided to move somewhere else, move back to Asia. Eventually, I bought my auntie's Chinese takeaway business because he was going to retire. So that's how I started my own business in 2000. We started our first catering business by takeaway. So because my wife is also a good cook, her background is also a catering background because her father has a restaurant in Hong Kong. So we both have experienced background. So we both know we're going to be successful in this catering business. So we started takeaway in 2000, and then 3 years later, we want to have a restaurant. That's always my passion, to have my own restaurant. So we opened the first restaurant in 2003. From 2003, I can say my restaurant is quite reputed in around the area because no other restaurant have this type of theme. It's quite a modern and also with a bit of Chinese character as well. So we are doing quite good. So a lot of friends ask me, Robbie, you've been cooking Chinese food for so many years. So what is the secret to be a good Chinese chef? A simple answer to that will be basically is the experience of cooking. Also cooking in different restaurants. The more places you work, the more experience you get in Chinese cooking. And Chinese cooking, in a way, is quite complicated because China is a huge country. So we have north, south, west, east, because it's so big. So every region have the regional cooking. For Chinese cooking, basically we can divide to three main types: north, the east, and west. Also often because the northern side of the country are so cold, so most of the food over there is spicy hot because in the cold weather they need something spicy, they will feel warmer. And the east and the west, like Hong Kong, they're more like plain, more non-spicy food, and they run some kind of sweet and sour stir-fried dish. That's basically different for Chinese cooking. But in Chinese cooking, also the presentation, you might need a bit of carving skill, like making a carrot into a flower, or even more authentic would be making a carrot into a fillet. And then we went on to 2008. I want to open another new concept restaurant. I took the gamble, go into a big city in Bristol. I understand any business can be a risk. That's about $500,000 for the opening. But unfortunately, during that year is a global recession. So I need to close the business within about 7-8 months. So I lost some money. I suffered depression because it's a big financial loss. And it's also I can't accept my failure because of my two other businesses was so successful. And then luckily, my wife was supportive. Then I recover after a year, and then I picked up myself. And after the failure in Bristol, so I need to go back to manage my other two businesses. Because of the financial problem, I need to work even harder. So I worked very hard for the restaurant business for a few years until 2016. But unfortunately, my beloved bride passed away of cancer. Again, I fell into depression for nearly 1 year, and then I decided to sell my restaurant because I think I need to take a break. Eventually sold all my business in 2018 and decided to retire. About a year later, because of my love and passion of cooking, I go to Paris and to learn the French cuisine, because French cuisine always the cuisine I would like to learn because they have the reputation of the world best cuisine in the world. I got the opportunity to live so close to Paris, England, so I went there 4 times to learn the different courses of the cuisine, like starter, the main, and dessert. And also I like to learn the Spanish cooking as well. And Spanish cooking, one of the dish often like is the seafood paella, which actually I start cooking that myself after I've been to a holiday in Spain about 10, 15 years ago. So I always try to explore what is the way the Spanish will cook the Spanish seafood paella. And then I got an opportunity, got a job offer in a Spanish restaurant. So I actually worked in a Spanish restaurant for a short while and see how the Spanish head chef will cook the Spanish dishes. Apart from seafood paella, I also learned other Spanish cuisine as well. The similar way in French cooking and Chinese cooking, both preparation will take quite a long time, but the actual cooking time is very different. So for Chinese cooking, if it is a stir-fry cuisine, it's very quick. So they cook the dish within 5 minutes. But in French cuisine, it's very different. Because French cuisine tend to be a lot of slow cooking. Because slow cooking, also the presentation, they treat it as an art. So the way they present the food is kind of need to present it in a way to look beautiful. When you just look at the cuisine, you want to eat it. So that's the way the French people love to present the French cuisine. Also, the plate is very big, but the actual food on the plate is very small portion. That's why they have so many courses. I would like to pass on my cooking skill to other people. I actually started a YouTube cooking channel. I name it Hocancook. That's the slogan of my cooking channel. In Hocancook YouTube, not only teaching people how to cook Chinese, I also teach them the cuisine I learned from Paris and from the Spanish restaurant as well. I think my ambition to be a TV chef, to have my own cooking program. That would be, I can call a complete of my cooking story. Hello, that's the end of my life story for Hocancook. I hope you will enjoy it, and thanks for watching. Bye bye.